Okay, so we're going to start now looking at the inequalities and simultaneous equations. So your first one is number 4. Solve this inequality. Okay, it's inequality, it's got that wee sign there. First thing you're going to do, it's a quadratic, so everything goes on one side. So bring that over as a minus 9. Now, you need to find the critical values. So for the critical values, you can either factorize it or use the formula. I chose to factorize. So AC, so it's minus 18, is made up of a 6 and a 3. I can get a 3 out of that, having a minus 6, a positive 6 and a minus 3. So what I'm doing here is finding the critical values. Just solving it your normal way. So I now rewrite my 3x as a 6x minus 3x. Take the first 2, pull out the 2x. Take the next 2, pull out the minus 3. You've got your matching brackets, which you should have. Pull that out, and you're left with 2x minus 3. Then you put each bit equal to 0 and get your x value. So put each bit equal to 0 and get your x value. Those are your critical values. You then want to sketch a wee graph with those. So minus 3 would be in this side and 1.5 on this side, and just draw it up. Now if you go back up to where you started with your quadratic all on one side, you will see I want under 0. This here, horizontal, is your 0 line. So I am under 0 between minus 3 and 3 over 2. And the way you say it is between minus 3 and 3 over 2 is you write your inequalities with them all pointing down. Now, just go back up here, I want to show you something else. See where it's a less than and equals? Make sure down here you've got a less than and an equals. So that's that one. Number 10, quadratic or simultaneous equations. I would always write out at the start. If it's a complicated one, x equals the cost of a mountain bike, just so I know. Y is the cost of a child's bike and Z is the cost of a road bike. If you get that written down, it makes so much easier, makes life so much easier. So 5 mountain bikes, that's going to cost me 5x. 3 children's bikes is going to cost me 3y. And 2 road bikes is going to cost me 2z. And that totaled 1985. That's your first one. Then we have the cost of a road bike. So that was this one here. Is £55 more than the sum of a mountain bike and a child's bike. So Z is these two plus 55. See where I've written that? Z equals the x add y add 55. In your simultaneous equations, you want to have them all on the one side. So that's just me bringing them over, having them all on the one side. Now, the next one we have. The following weekend, the cycle shop had a sale. The mountain bike was reduced by £30. So it's now x minus 30. A child's bike was reduced by 35. So it's y minus 35. But the road bike stayed the same. It sold 7 mountain bikes. So if you can remember, the mountain bike is now x minus 30, and you've got 7 of them. Okay, and you can times that out. Sold 5 of the children's bikes, so 5 times that its cost, and then times it out. And the road bike stayed the same. And I just tidied it up. So 7x add 5y add z. That goes to our side as an add. That goes to our side as an add. And you get 175. So now I have got 3 equations with x, y's and z's. So everything's looking quite good. I chose to make all the z's the same because it was a pretty easy number. If I made all the x's, it would all be 35. If I made the y's the same, it would be all 15. If I made the z's, it would be all 2. So that was much easier. So how do you make all the z's 2? This one didn't change. This equation, I had to double it. So double in the second equation. Just make sure you double every single bit. And then in the third one, I had to double it. So again, make sure you double every single bit. Then what you do is you choose 2 equations. So I tend to choose 4 and 5 and then 5 and 6. Write out your 4 and 5, write out your 5 and 6. See the z's? They are going to be taken away because the signs are the same. So if you take them away, they disappear. Over here, signs are the same. So if you take them away, they disappear. So taken away, 5x minus minus becomes 7. 3y minus minus becomes plus. They disappear, and that, taking away, I thought I was made a mistake there, is 1985 take away 110. Over here, the z's got the same sign, so you subtract them to eliminate them. So minus 2 take away 14. Minus 2 take away add, which is take away, giving you minus 12. They disappear, and that leaves you there. If you notice I had all minuses, I changed all the signs just to make it a bit easier. Then what I did is take those 7 and 8 equations, write them down, and you make either the x is the same, they both become 28, or you make the y's the same, they both become 15. I made the y's the same. So how did I get it to be 15? I times it by 3. Make sure you times each bit by 3. How did I get that one to be 15? Times it by 5. So times each bit by 5. Your y's have got the same sign. Subtract them, eliminates them. 21x minus 20x gives you x. Subtract that. Now you've got your x. Then you start to backfill. Put this x into any of your two variable equation. I put it into equation 7. So it's 7 times your x plus your 5y, and so on. That gets you y. And then put it back into one of the initial equations. I put it back into equation 2. Doesn't matter which one you put it back into to get your z. Now this question goes on a wee bit. You've worked out your x, y, z. The next bit now says to make way for a newer model, the shop needs to sell off its remaining stock of 4 road bikes. The total income of these 4 road bikes was 980. So each road bike was going to be 980 divided by 4. They sold each one for 245. The original cost was 350, and we want what percentage was it reduced? So it was a change over the original times 100. That's just going through your wee bits there. So awkward wee question there. They are long, to be fair. Now, 2016. I'll not go through it in as much detail. I'll just pick out wee bits. You can see me writing it down as start. X is the cost in stalls, Y is the cost in circle, and Z is the cost in the balcony. On Friday, sold 60 X's, 84 Y's, and 48 Z's, and that was your total. You can divide everything there by 12, brings you down to what they want. The second bit's exactly the same, just dividing by 7. This is the bit here I want to get to, the third bit. Now, we have got, have a look here. For the Sunday matinee, all tickets were just by £5. So the stalls were just by 5, and they sold 45. The circles were just by £5, and that's how many they sold. And that's a balcony, and that's how many they sold. So I'll times out the bracket, put all the numbers over the other side, and then I can divide everything by 9. You can now see clearly my 3 equations there. So I chose to make the z's all 12. I'm just working through the bits and pieces there. Okay, so hopefully you can follow that yourselves. And we've got another one. Now you can see me starting off the same way. X is the cost of coal, writing it out. First one shouldn't be too bad. Second one I don't think is too bad. And even the third one looks okay there. And just tidying it up. There's your 3 equations. I made the z's all 60. Working through that, choosing your 2 pairs. And I don't see anything too complicated on working through that. Except for the last bit. So, let's see what's happening in the last bit. Right, we've got the give you 25%, just on the very, very bottom there's where I'm at. As a special offer, the wholesaler's offering 25% of a bag of coal and 25% of a bag of logs. So the coal was £10 a bag. So 25% of it, you can just divide by 4. That's the new price. Again, 25% of that divided by 4 gives you 150. That's the new price. And Pete didn't change. Now, this is the horrible bit. So, George wants to put in a new order. And he has 75 bags of logs. And much of the logs, they're $4.50 each. He has got 60 bags of peat. But we don't know how many coal he's buying. So just call it M for the number of coal. Each bag of coal is $7.50. So that's his coal. that's its logs, that's its speed. Work those out, bring them over, bring over your 750 and divide, and you should come up with 215.